us, and I unfortunately don't know who the parents are. You actually were the next person I was going to call. So, and you are okay. You weren't. Yeah. So yeah, but Bonnie was the next one to call. So.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm Bonnie Kandel. I'm a proud parent of 2 children in Washington Township schools in Indianapolis. I have a son in the Compass program at Crooked Creek Elementary and a son in the autism classroom at Nora Elementary School. I want to tell you a little bit about my son who's in the autism classroom at Nora. His name is Leaf, and under the leadership in the Special Services Division of Washington Township, we have gone from a child that is thrown into fight or flight anytime he's in a crowd. He has gone from from the point of not being understood verbally to being able to order for himself in a restaurant. I'm sharing this with you because there is a great success happening in Washington Township special education. My concern about this bill is that it is continuing to drain money from our public schools, tax dollars from our public schools. And this is a huge concern because what it will mean ultimately is the success and development of my son to become an independent, employable adult. And I have heard over and over again in this today, several of you ask, how can you be against choice? How can you really not believe in a parent's choice? I don't have a choice. My son has been denied access to several private schools. We need public education. That's all I have so far. I'm happy to answer questions and engage. But this to me looks like a continuation of money draining out of a system that is successful and supporting my child. Actually, both of my children. I feel like we have moved very quickly in initiatives like this, and we haven't properly studied what it is doing to the most needy children in our state. Any questions?
See none. Oh, Representative Klinker, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for that testimony.
My pleasure.
We see this all the time. As educators in public schools, we know that several of these children have been turned down in either a charter school or a private school because they just don't have the facilities. And I know many of us maybe have been through that in our own families and know that the public schools must be there because they're the ones that
and they must be
services.
Properly funded.
Yes, and properly funded. And as of now, are you saying that they are not?
I am seeing lots of money flowing out of our systems, and what I am attempting to do is preserve what we have in Washington Township.
I would ask you to continue to advocate.
I'll be here next week.
Your services, because they do make a great difference.
Thank you.
Representative Lucas. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Representative Lucas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, thank you for coming here to testify today, but right now there's a huge disparity in funding between the charter schools and other the private schools. And I think if we can get to the point where the money is following the child, that there would be a lot more other children out there that would enjoy the advantages that you had with your child, taking to a facility that was able to provide the services that...
I do not want my son in a facility. I want him in a public school.
And that's your choice, ma'am, but there are others out there
It's
that
his
would like
right.
to have...
It's his right under federal law.
But again, I'm just trying to point out that I've sat through hours of testimony hearing from other parents that would disagree with you, that would like to have that choice. And when I'm sitting here hearing that testimony for hours on end, I still have yet to encounter anybody that could provide a rational argument against giving that parent choice in their child's taxpayer-funded education. And I understand you're up there pushing for public education.
If you take that money to a private, there are maybe 2 or 3 wonderful private institutions that serve special needs individuals.
That would be your opinion, ma'am. There's other parents out there.
The cost is over $70,000 often a year.
And I
The
understand
state of Indiana cannot offer enough money. I know many families who have been forced to seek private institutions for their children. It either requires sending their child out of state so they're not with them anymore, or it requires bankruptcy.
And that's one of the things I think we're trying to solve with these bills, ma'am.
Your $5,000 a year?
Me?
No, I will not. Your $5,000 a year will not make up for the other $65,000.
I disagree.
Representative Lucas. I'm sorry, Representative Cook.
Ma'am, you sat here and had testimony. I don't see how this is involved with charters and vouchers and everything you've found the boogeyman in, but in all respect, and you heard one service center is serving right here in Indianapolis 19,000 kids. Would you shut them all down, the 2 that testified, because they're providing services to these students all around the state of Indiana right now? That's what we're talking about, not harming North Central.
We're not at North Central.
Pardon?
We're not at North Central.
I think you were, weren't you?
Nor elementary school.
Yeah. Well, I guess shifting back, we're talking about the providers of these above and beyond classes. So I'm trying to be respectful. I just don't see.
I appreciate the respectful conversation. When we're talking about sending tax dollars to for-profit educational initiatives, I have to protest, because that is profit being made on tax money.
If I might. Ma'am,
Representative Delane, would you like to speak?
yes, I would very much.
I will let you speak at this point. I don't know if Representative
troubled.
Cook was done.
I'm very troubled. If you're not done, Tony, go ahead. All right. I have the honor of being the representative for that district, or parts of Washington Township, along with Representative Hamilton. And, ma'am, do you think that if we offered $450 a year to a private course, do you think they'd come back the next year and ask for $550?
Most likely.
Is that sort of the gist of your concern?
That's a large part of it.
Do you feel that the district feels a responsibility to your child?
I have seen many educators show that kind of devotion, yes.
Thank you.
Seeing no further questions, thank you for your testimony. Next, I have John O'Neill.